go to school to please your parents, not because we wanted anything from going to school. So your plan is just try to fail a few times, then afterwards you can go and get a job in Johannesburg, maybe working in mine, or maybe we are surrounded by farms, so just get a job in a farm. My father works in a farm, so it was going to be easier for me to just go and get a job in the farm. So we just go to school for the fun of it, and also to please our parents. So that's the kind of place that I come from. And the school that I went to is just one of those schools where the only time that you get to speak English is when you wanted to go to a toilet. So just to say, the only time you get to speak English is when you say, "Please teacher, may I go out?" That's the only time. And to be honest, and I'm glad my teachers are not here, I don't remember hearing any of my teachers speaking English. That's the kind of school that I went to. So you can just excuse my English because it's really bad, I know. So that's the kind of place that I come from. So yeah, I started high school. I started high school in 2004. And I finished my matric in 2011. If you go to your maths, you can see that it's a bit, yeah. I think it was about 8 years in high school. I failed grade 9. I repeated grade 9. And I went to grade 11, I failed again. But because of my good behavior, I was condoned to grade 11. Then, or maybe it's because many of us failed, I don't know. Then grade 11, I failed grade 11, I think 2 times, because I did it 3 times. Then for some reason I decided, you know what, let me just try to change my life around and see if anything can happen out of it. And in that year, I think it was in 2010, I told my parents, you know what, this is the last time I'm going to school. If I fail this year, I'm not going back. Then yeah, I started studying. I remember I bought this big dictionary. I asked them to buy a big dictionary for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I wanted to improve my bad English. We call it English. So I started reading that dictionary and working on my studies. And by surprise, I was awarded the most outstanding learner in grade 11. But then maybe that's because I've already done it 2 times. So that's why. Then, grade 12, I decided, you know what, I want to be a lawyer. Then that dream started in January. And luckily, we were invited in a award ceremony of Ingwe municipality. They were awarding bursaries to students. And someone I knew, someone I studied with that passed and I failed in grade 11, was getting an award, a bursary from the municipality. Then I came back home and said, you know what, I've already have a bursary for studying next year. It was only in January and I was doing my matric. So I knew what I needed to know that to get my bursary. So I started working hard in matric, and luckily, I don't know if it was luck or what, but I was awarded #1 out of all the schools that were under the municipality. That's more than 25 schools. And again, luckily, I was number 8 out of in the Sisonke district. That's more than, I don't know, close to 100 schools. Yeah, so for me that meant a lot because I've already failed a number of times before. Then came varsity. Well, it was my first time coming to Durban. So I studied at Howard College. It was, so you can imagine coming from that kind of place and coming to Durban for the first time. And on that day, luckily, okay, I don't know, but I'm sitting on the lucky guy. So on that day, I went for my registration. And it was, I think it was 4:30, and the staff were now closing with their registration. And I knew if I don't get a place to stay today, I don't know where I'm going to stay because I can't go back home now. There won't be any taxis going back to Eklop. That's too far. And that guy came and said, no, we are closing here just after me. He said, I was the last one to come into a queue, and then luckily, but you can imagine how hard it was for someone that has never been to a city before. Then coming to university, and I must say, I had never had an English conversation before. And the first time I had an English conversation was in a tutorial. And that was really hard because I was also picked to represent my group on that day. It wasn't easy at all. But then, yeah, varsity was not easy for someone that is like me, because the moment you get there, it feels like you don't belong there, because all the people are there just like those bright students coming from cities where I studied in, I don't know if they are still called modern schools, but those kind of schools. We studied there, but yeah, I can tell you that it's not the same. We feel like we don't belong here. We feel like the little confidence that we had just drops. But then if you know where you come from, the reason why we are here, how hard we have worked to be here, then you know that you have to work hard. You have to study hard. And university is fun and hard at the same time. If you are doing law, I can tell you now, that's one of the hardest degrees that one can do, but always worth it at the end of the day. Right now, I'm only a month away from becoming a lawyer. My admission is on the 2nd of March 2018. That's like exactly a month from here, and I'm counting here. So, how do you survive in varsity? Well, it's easy. You just don't lose your focus. Know why you are here. Never take your eyes off your dreams. Know your goals. Choose your friends wisely. University is fun. I'm not sure about you, Peter Respect, but Debian was fun. I'm not sure. I can't speak about Peter Respect. But Debian was fun. You get to do everything that you wanted to do when you were at home. But now we're all free to do it without anyone judging you, except your conscience. But it's fun. If you know why you are here, you'll have to work hard. That's the only thing that I can emphasize. Work hard and never take your eyes off your dream, because at the end of the day, hard work always pays off. Well, it did pay off for me, because now I'm about to live my dream, something that I never thought was going to happen for someone that comes from a place that I come from. So just gonna wish you guys all the best, and make sure that if there's anything that you don't understand, you always ask. Ask your lecturers, ask your colleagues, ask anyone that can assist you, because you can't just sit there and say, no, I got 7 A's at high school. You'll get 45 here and fail if you don't ask. You have to ask, we have to work hard, and everything is in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonginkosi. On behalf of UKZN, just a small token of appreciation.